Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Real Housewives of Orange County Season 18, Episode 11 Recap, Fiestas and Freakouts. This week's episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County stepped up the drama. This week's theme was singled out, as multiple ladies felt they had been left behind. Jen hosted a pool party to show off Ryan's home, but Shannon didn't attend and instead flew to St. Louis to host a Dos Amigas show with Vicky. Jen has learned some life lessons. This week's episode opens simply enough as the women all catch up. But I will say watching Gina and Shannon bond is a scary yet intriguing sight. After getting a beautiful tour of Shannon's abode, she doled out some decent advice to her former foe about taking the moment for herself. Katie and Emily have their own meet-up with Jen too. But is this considered cheating on Emily's part since her allegiance is technically to Gina? Jen pops up out of nowhere to pay for the coffee, which is a nice gesture, but I imagine her bank app sent her a low balance alert afterward. Jen is looking for parenting advice as she tells her friends that her kids need cores and consequences. She admits that a hard life lesson she learned was that she should have invested in herself. And let me tell ya, that hit home. I need to lay the hammer down, and I don't know how to do that, Jen states. The talk doesn't go well with her son as Dawson is a typical spoiled 16-year-old who is used to getting what he wants. You can't blame him for bad parenting. But before Jen gets too carried away, she invites everyone to a pool party at Ryan's home. Skip back to Emily's catch-up, and she is still very upset from last week about having to bring her own jeans to Heather's charity event. Again, she felt like it was being pointed out to her that she wasn't fitting into a mold. But did Fancy Pants purposely do that? Please. This woman who has her own issues in life is not worried about Emily's waist. I can't imagine Heather purposefully going out of her way to exile Emily into just jeans. Heather might be unaware of how much work Emily has put into herself, which isn't Heather's fault. Emily can't kick the feeling that Heather still looks at her as the big girl, and that's Emily's issue, not Heather's. The lawyer cried, "I'm very emotional. I got a testosterone plant in my butt," as if that explained everything. There are a lot of side chats in this episode, as Katie once again opens up about her divorce and split with her children. Kaylee, Katie's daughter, is the perfect housewife in training, as she states she isn't about mean men. Ever the seer, Tamara tells their daughters, "Be careful who you procreate with." It's interesting to get the kids' point of view as both daughters agree they don't think marriages end well. Sophia doesn't want children to know that it's so irresponsible to commit to something that big. Tamara is caught breaking down in her confessional, admitting Simon wasn't a great husband and not a great dad. "I still hate him so much. Yikes, I thought those two had hashed stuff out long ago." Finally, we are at Jen's poolside get-together, and the star of the show is Sparkles, the dog who single-handedly greets everyone at the party. But even with an overly friendly golden retriever, Emily is a ticking time bomb. Before the ladies have had an ounce of tequila, Emily quips, "I'm not on Ozempic. That's why I have to wear jeans." Emily, stop. I wouldn't say I like this self-deprecating side of the lawyer. FYI, someone needs to tell these women's glam squads that the high ponytails and Botox don't mix. In fact, the whole look is scary. To make matters worse, Alexis comes in hot, or should I say cool as a cucumber, which puts everyone on edge. She alludes to issues with Shannon, sharing she is exhausted by the baggage. It turns out that John is more than Alexis bargained for, but breaking up is not an option. For one brief moment, humor strikes the scene as Tamara and Emily hide from Alexis, with Tammy Sue quipping, "John has a type." After one margarita, Emily has had enough. The annoying and loony Alexis has done Emily's head in, and it didn't take a lot for her to unleash her inner demon, who is now also going to be annoying and loony. The lawyer tells Heather, "When you asked for our measurements, you asked me to bring jeans. I thought everyone else was bringing jeans. What bothered me was when I realized I was the only one who didn't have anything on by Susan Bender. I felt like I was being singled out, and it killed me." Heather genuinely seems shocked by the information and doesn't understand all the insecurities, saying, "I thought I was giving you a starring role. I wanted to make sure you felt like a star." However, Heather became a little catty in her confessional, after explaining that the women had all sent their measurements, and then noted that the dress was tight on Emily. Meow, Kitty has claws. Real Housewives of Orange County Season 18, Episode 11, titled Fiestas and Freakouts, opens with a vibrant backdrop of colorful decorations, margaritas on ice, and an atmosphere brimming with excitement. But beneath the lively fiesta theme, tensions are simmering, and as the episode unfolds, it's clear that this gathering will be anything but tranquil. The episode kicks off with Emily Simpson, the self-proclaimed party planner extraordinaire, in her element. She's hosting a Mexican-themed fiesta, and everything looks perfect. The mariachi band, the spicy salsa station, and the towering piñata that promises both fun and trouble. But as always in the OC, perfection is just a veneer for chaos. Emily, looking stunning in a vivid red dress that hugs her curves, is clearly trying to distract herself from her ongoing marital issues. Her husband Shane has been distant lately, and she's throwing herself into party planning as a means of escapism. Her best friend Gina Kirschenheider arrives early, already stirring the pot with gossip about the other ladies. Gina, always with a keen sense for the dramatic, knows that this fiesta will be more than just a celebration. It's a pressure cooker waiting to explode. Gina starts off by confiding in Emily about her frustrations with Heather Dubrow, whose recent behavior has been as icy as her lavish champagne collection. Heather, ever the queen of the understated insult, has been dropping snide remarks left and right, leaving Gina feeling both hurt and angry. Heather's massive wealth and elegant lifestyle often leave the other women feeling inadequate, and lately she's been leaning into her superiority complex more than ever. As the other women start to arrive, the tension is palpable. Tamra Judge, ever the troublemaker, comes in with her husband Eddie, looking ready to stir the pot at the first sign of weakness. Tamra's been on a mission to expose cracks in everyone else's relationships, and she's been particularly interested in Heather's. It's clear Tamra is gutting for Heather tonight, hoping to shake her composure. Tamra has been dealing with her own personal issues, specifically her strained relationship with her son Ryan. The pain of that estrangement is clearly affecting her behavior, but rather than dealing with it head-on, Tamra is taking it out on her friends. Heather arrives fashionably late, as is her style, decked out in a designer gown that practically screams money. She greets the group with a forced smile, already sensing the undercurrents of resentment. Heather, who is often seen as the ice queen of the group, is well aware that her recent actions have rubbed Gina and Emily the wrong way, but she's not about to back down. She's the type to let the tension build, knowing that she can hold her own in any confrontation. The night starts off light enough, with tequila shots and laughter, but soon the cracks in the ladies' friendships begin to show. Emily, emboldened by the margaritas, decides it's time to address her concerns with Shane in front of the group. What starts as a light-hearted joke quickly spirals into an awkward exchange, with Shane brushing her off in his usual sarcastic manner. The other women, sensing the discomfort, try to shift the focus back to the party, but the damage has been done. Emily feels embarrassed, and her festive mood begins to sour. As the sun sets and the margaritas flow, things take a turn. Tamra, never one to let an opportunity for drama pass her by, corners Heather near the piñata. Tamra's had a few too many tequila shots, and her usual sharp tongue becomes even sharper. She starts questioning Heather's recent behavior, accusing her of looking down on the rest of the group. Heather, who has been trying to stay above the fray, quickly becomes defensive. "Why are you always trying to make everything about you, Tamra?" Heather snaps, her polished veneer cracking just a little. "Not everything is a competition."